am gaming on a Dorito! So this little Dorito looking thing is the Acute Angle Mini PC, and it's a little thing that has parts from 2016, and they were bad in 2016, but let's see what we can make it do. Alright, so I just got this funky thing in the mail, let's go ahead and bust it open. To change or not to change, times are shifting and human civilization is advancing. We keep our feet on the earth while looking up to the starry sky. We can still do better, so we keep trying. Ain't that poetic? Alright, now we got this card here with all of this information. But look, we're here for this. Alright, let's take it out. It's in like some kind of a, like a bag. Interesting. Oh, and it opens up from the side here. Okay. Oh, there she is. Look at that. Okay, you know what? This is actually way cooler in person. Now that I actually have my hands on this thing, because like that's actually wood. It's more than just marketing material. That's kind of cool looking. Alright, and we also have HDMI cable right here. And over here we got ourselves the power cable for the machine. And there's nothing under this because it's one big unit. But look, here's the important thing. If we flip it over and we look at the back here, we can see the specs, and this is going to be an interesting project. So in short, guys, this beautiful Dorito we have here is going to be the lowest powered machine that I've shown off on this page to date. So let's see what we can make it do. But guys, before we do that, like, look, I bought this for more than what's on the outside. We gotta see what's on the inside, which means we need to void the warranty. Void if removed. I void everything. So after removing the stickers, we can see that we revealed 4 Phillips head screws. Okay, so this part here is held on with like a gasket, and I've been trying to slowly work this thing out, which has been a bit of a process, but I think I'm almost there. Oh, victory! I'm not gonna lie, that was a pain, but hey, we got it. Right, so now we just have to push it like that. There we go, okay. And then this just I thought it just came off. Okay, well, I can play with this too now. Okay, it is really snug, so you gotta kind of like use both thumbs and slowly push it out. And then, oh my gosh. So this is why having documentation makes things a lot easier, because I'm winging it right now. There we go, we got it. All right, so we got the internals for the most part here. Okay, we need to remove all of this so we can see the craziness that awaits us. And of course, every screw is a different size, so you know, I've got to make sure I'm keeping track of that, because we got some long ones, some short ones. Ain't that fun? Alright, so this piece is loose now, but we gotta pay attention to that wire, and I need to take off this adhesive so this piece can come out for the ventilation. Look, we got mesh! Alright, after loosening that, we can see the internals, and do you guys see that? Look at that board shape! Like, genuinely, that is one of the funkiest looking boards I've encountered for like a full-blown PC, and like, this thing is kind of built like a laptop, but look, it's triangle. Well, I mean, mostly triangle. Alright, another fun part. Let's see if we can get under this heat sink here. Now, I'm assuming the fan's gonna have to come off first. Okay, so this is interesting. Like, I can move the heatsink, but it's actually like underneath this, so I gotta remove the NVMe that it has here. So I was expecting to find thermal paste, not a thermal pad, and guys, this thing is still perfectly fine. Like, you would think it was brand new, but it's like over 8 years old, which is kind of crazy. But there is that funky board in all its glory, so let's go ahead and reassemble and see what it do. Alright, the PC is reassembled. Let's go ahead and fire it up and see what she do. Alright, we got this Acute Angle logo right there, and the first thing it should be doing is booting into a distribution of Windows 10 that is pre-installed. Alright, logging into an admin profile, and there we go, guys. We have Windows 10, and it has a TeamViewer pre-installed for some reason. That's kind of interesting. And this pretty cool background. And one thing to keep in mind with this is we have a headphone jack, Ethernet, HDMI, one USB 3.0, and the power in the back. And on the front we got the power button and the 2 USB 3.0 ports. And if we open up the system properties, we got Windows 10 Home. We got, well, here's all the info on the PC, the specs, you know, the model number, all that fun stuff. And here's how the performance is. You know, it's actually idling pretty decently, even though, again, the CPU is not great, but like the memory usage is next to nothing. Again, we're not really doing anything at the moment. If we look at the processes, like, we have very, very little actually going. The TeamViewer still sketches me out, but, you know, other than that, like, it's pretty good. Now, with that said, it was pretty time-consuming getting it to get to the point where it opened up these things, because, you know, it's still, well, it's struggling. It's low-powered, but, you know, at least it's SSDs. So the big question we wanted to ask today is, you know, can this be used in, like, a modern environment? stuff. So the big question I want to answer today is, can we use this in a modern environment? We could put Windows 11 on here, but it's gonna scream. So let's try out Linux. So you guys might be used to me using Zorin Linux, which is where these backgrounds come from. But something you might notice if you look a little closer is this isn't Zorin anymore. Zorin spontaneously combusted on this computer, so I switched over to Linux Mint. So we're gonna try that on this. And in fact, all this information that you're seeing right here is the one I've got running on this machine, which is the exact same setup that is on this flash drive currently. So we're gonna see, can it just do this default Mint install and do it well? So first things first, we gotta figure out how we get into this thing's BIOS. So I'm just holding the escape key right now, see does it do anything? I don't think it's doing anything. Alright, I'm trying F2, F9, F10. Let's see if we get a different result. I don't think we're gonna get a different result. There's also potential that it doesn't like the keyboard, so I might be switching the keyboard. Right, what if I button mash escape instead of holding it? Will that yield a different outcome? I saw something very previously. Oh, we got it! Alright guys, we are in the BIOS. We got, well, everything that we're gonna need to, get this thing up and running, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch this boot option and we'll see what happens. Oh, I see, it's the flash drive. This is going to be a good thing. Guys, we got grub. Okay, let's just go ahead and do the first option and see what should do. Oh, we got a boot logo. And we have a desktop. So the game plan is I'm going to jump straight into the installer. I'm going to put it onto this computer alongside Windows, because we want to retain that Windows install for the lulz. And yeah, then we'll see what this thing can do. All right, it's installing. All right, I finished the install, and after it, I tried to, boot straight into Mint, but no, it said, hey, I want to go into Linux. So I'm going back into the BIOS. So I'm not getting the boot selections that I expected. I'm going to go ahead and set it back to the Windows Boot Manager and see if for some reason that makes it boot into what I'm hoping it will. And of course it jumps straight into Windows. Well, shoot, we got a problem. Well, that did nothing. Plan B, let's wipe it entirely and make it just Mint. And one wipe later, and now we got grub. And there we go, the Dorito lives. So this is a little weird. For some reason it's trying to use my 1080p display here as a 4K monitor, which is cranking it down to 30 Hz. So let's see how it does at the right resolution. Okay, this is shocking. It's saying it can go up to 120 Hertz. This is a 240 Hertz monitor. I just legitimately wasn't expecting it to be able to do the 120, so let's see how it do. I mean, yeah, guys, look, it's doing it. I mean, I know, you're watching this video at 60 frames a second, but guys, it's doing the 120. This is actually pretty nice. And in regards to the system resource utilization, I mean, it's not a significant drop from Windows 10, but I mean, it's still a drop, so it's way more efficient already, and you can feel it as you're just, moving through files. It's doing the thing. And it was even able to hook up to Wi-Fi without an issue. I'm thrilled. And to make sure we're remaining accurate to a modern system, I'm going to go ahead and run all the updates on here, and then we're going to get into the fun stuff. And there we go, the Dorito is updating. Alright, all the updates completed successfully, and I switched over to a dark theme to save my eyeballs, and now I'm going to download Steam. And to save a little bit of hassle, I went ahead and went to the software manager, which is like the app store of Mint, and I'm just going to grab Steam directly from there. And since Mint is installed on this eMMC drive, I'm going to go ahead and go to this SSD that we have in there, and I'm going to completely nuke this thing and get it set up to hold the Steam games. Alright, we got Steam. So I've got a couple games downloading right here, and I went ahead and opened up the Bluetooth manager and attached a wireless controller for the testing. So I tried using this controller over Bluetooth and this controller over a little dongle, even tried the dongle for this one, and I couldn't get it to work right, so we're gonna use mouse and keyboard. So the game was originally struggling in the main menu because everything was cranked up to the max, so I went ahead and threw things in medium, well, mostly here, and we're gonna see how that does. I also ran into a crash the first time I tried to load something, but I think that might be something to do with the cloud saves. I don't know, we're about to find out. Let's try a new game. Alright guys, we're in. Let's see what she does. So it is currently playing right now. We are getting little dips here and there, but I mean, this is by no means unplayable. To put it like this is more playable than the original Xbox version. I am gaming on a Dorito! So in this section right here, we are having a little bit of trouble. It's staying below 30 FPS, staying above 20, but let's see if we crank down the settings even more, if that helps it. So I cranked down the settings as low as they'll go from here without touching the resolution or any configuration files, so let's see if that makes a difference. So funnily enough, it feels like it's worse, but we can always touch the resolution now to see what happens. Alright, no significant change at 720p, so forget it. Let's see what the lowest resolution does. Alright, we are running at 480p now, and I mean, it is an improvement. I mean, now we're getting up to like above 30 looking in this direction, and in fact, it's way more fluid looking over here, but I mean, is this worth the price we paid? No. So I set the settings back to where they were on medium at 1080p and put in the cheat so we can have all the weapons, because I want to see how it does with explosions. Alright, here's a quick test right here. We got that one, and I mean, didn't seem to have a significant lag spike. Alright, so let's go over here, and hi friends, explosions. Okay, well, definitely got a bit of an FPS drop there, but I mean, guys, it's playing the game. It's not crashing. I'm actually pretty impressed. And look, I also grabbed Slime Rancher just to see, like, you know, would it be able to do it? And we're still gonna find out. But like, guys, it was just struggling with Half-Life 2, so I don't have great hopes here. All right, the game is attempting to load. What will it do? I mean, first impression is it looks like it's doing better than Half-Life 2 was. Okay, that explains it. 800 by 600 at the lowest possible settings, but I mean, guys, it's doing it, so let's see how it games. All right, guys, it actually managed to load into my save. There's definitely a lot of lag happening right now. That said, it's playing it like this is actually a playable frame rate, not the most comfortable one in the world, but I mean, we're gaming on Dorito. So guys, complete transparency, I didn't think we were going to get this far into the project. Yeah, I figured Half-Life 2 was going to work. I wasn't expecting something like this to fire up. But I mean, it's doing it, and look, we can blast the little slime dudes and the chickens and all that, and it's just doing it. That's pretty cool. And guys, if it's able to do this, then emulation isn't going to be an issue. I have no doubts we'd be able to do like up to PS1 without an issue. I really doubt we'd be doing something up to like PS2 or Wii. But I mean, look at this. It's able to run this just fine, so like the retro stuff, that should be easy. So look, we already know that it can game, but how about just general usability? Well, let's go ahead and grab Brave right here and see how she do. And as that's downloading, I went ahead and opened up LibreOffice Writer, which is just basically like free Microsoft Word, and you know, it just works as expected. You know, just a good test to show just, again, general usability. So as another test, I went ahead and loaded up some 1080p video, of course, from my page, and like, it's just working, guys. I mean, this is capable of web browsing, video playback. It's just, again, a usable computer. So guys, what's the moral of the story? Well, Dorito silly. But beyond that, this is, again, a very low-powered computer. Okay, so that processor is from 2016, and it was bad in 2016. But look, we have it running in a modern environment. So believe me, if this little piece of junk is able to do all of this, then guess what? That computer sitting in your closet, it's definitely capable of doing some pretty crazy stuff. And, you know, even if it's not for you, there's probably someone you know that might need a computer. So hopefully this motivates you to, you know, try and see what you can get it to do. You know, spread the word about old computers and crappy computers, because they're not as crappy as you might think. But guys, I hope you had as much fun with this project as I did. You know, this all came from a very poor financial decision, but it turned into something pretty cool. And again, if you want to help support the page, there are links down below, or you can simply like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys in the next one.